All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Then today's episode, I wanted to overall pass on some motivation to anybody in the entertainment business, whether you're a content creator, a musician, an actor, it don't matter. If you have some part in the entertainment business, you need to hear this because I know at some point in time, and I guess like if you're small, you haven't really experienced it. But if you're big enough to experience it, or even if you are small and you still experienced hate, that's one thing that you should know is that haters, you've never heard a success story surrounding a hater. Please, somebody tell me the time where a hater was more successful than the person that they was hating on. And that's the thing though. And then let's say if they do manage to get to a successful like standpoint with whatever it is that they're doing, how long can they maintain that? Like there's this lyric I remember from Kendrick Lamar's song Wesley's Theory. It wasn't something that he said, but it was something that Dr. Dre had said. Let me see if I could find that song and that lyric. Okay, there we go. I think I mentioned this lyric before because I'm like it's something, but I think I more so I might have been talking about it just like passing on like motivation people just to not give up. But anyways, so there's a song that Kendrick Lamar did on his album To Pimp a Butterfly called Wesley's Theory. And there's a part in the song where Dr. Dre starts talking. And I know people are probably all like, what is Dr. Dre and Kendrick Lamar like? So for those that don't know, they're cool with each other. Like, I don't know the extent of their friendship, but they cool with one another and stuff. So anyways, they did commercials, and as a matter of fact, they did a commercial of and they had like a song in there, and I'm over here, I'm like, bro, it's been so many years. I'm like, bro, if they were gonna release that song, they would have released it a long time ago. But it was like it was a Beats by Dre commercial that Dr. Dre was doing. He had Kendrick Lamar in there, and I'm like, bro, you should have released that song. That don't even make no sense. Musicians, and it's about something where you gotta use to listen to music, but you ain't gonna release the music inside the commercial. I was like, man, that was messed up. But anyways, what my personal issues pushed to the side. But no, so Dr. Dre, he said, remember no, that's not it. There is like, it's like a line, but, okay, cause I'm trying to like see, okay, here it goes. I found it. I was like, nah, I was like reading and I'm like, this ain't it. But I'm like, no, this is the part. Cause he only had one part in the whole song, but he was all like, continuing from what I had said, like it does fit in all together, but he says, remember the first time you came to my house, you say you wanted a spotlight like mine, but remember, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it. And that's the thing that a lot of haters don't understand is that you can't maintain whatever position that you're in. Like here's the thing, eventually you are going to either have to move on from the hate, or you just gonna allow that hate to self-destruct you. And just to use somebody as an example, just a robot. That was probably, I have to say, out of all the haters that I've had throughout my content creating career, he was definitely the biggest. I mean, like Minnesota Boy, he was big at the time. What else? But yeah, everybody that I've gotten into it with, I'll have to say, like, they've been small creators. Like, I haven't gotten into it with I mean, even with me and Just a Robot, when we very first got into it, like, he was small and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't like he was always been bigger than me. It was like at one point in time I was bigger than him, and it seems like at the rate things is going, we're gonna see that at some point in time. But anyways, I know people are gonna probably be all like try to flip it on me. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I have no hatred in my heart towards Just a Robot. I'm gonna explain it. And I feel like some people need to hear that before they want to jump the gun and just start pointing fingers and anyways, but when you look at the past 9 years we've gotten into it, who's thrown more punches at one another? Who's done more of the attacking than defending? I'm saying, like, when you sit down and think about that, right? I never once had any reason to attack Just the Robot. I had no reasons to go after him. Even when me and him very first got into it, I didn't know who he was. So that's why I'm like, it trips me out when they try to, like, flip it on me and make it seem like that our issues is my fault. But I'm like, fam, he had that opportunity. Because my thing is this. all the videos that I've been recently making about him, them videos never would have came out. Like me reacting to other people's videos about him, me saying my own personal issues with them videos would have never happened if I never would have came across Just the Robot. But he made a video about me and he started attacking me, and I'm thinking to myself, I ain't did nothing to you. Like, what is the problem? And that's the one thing that haters never really understand is that you allow, because even I just remember the time where I was hating on the YouTuber Ray William Johnson. I wasn't achieving nothing with that. I ain't getting nowhere with that. I stopped it. I retired. That was like the first and last time I was just hating on somebody just because. And I'm like, and I ain't accomplished nothing with it. If any, I think all I did was get some of his fans upset with me because of my hatred towards him, and it was hatred that was like non-existent. Like there was no legitimate reason on why I was hating on him. I feel like I remember a lot of things from my childhood. That's one thing it's either I don't remember or there wasn't no legitimate reason on hating on him and stuff. So, but anyways. But would people, like, just overall ask you guys that question, would you guys consider Just a Robot a successful content creator? Maybe at one point in time, he was. But currently, right now, can you say that he's a successful content creator? And I feel like there are going to be fans of his that's going to be like, oh, yeah, he's much more better than you. The thing is this, though. I'm not going through no cancellation. I don't have to worry about, oh, my next video is not going to be positively received amongst my community. Like, fam, he threw his whole career away because he wanted to be a negative content creator. Again, when have you guys ever seen, and that's the thing where it's or not so much as a negative content creator, like he was trying to be positive, but for the wrong reasons. And I ain't gonna say that I don't know. I think he was more so hating on the idea, but I mean it's just I don't know, like that. There's so many different. I feel like there was like dominoes that were falling that led to Just the Robot's downfall. Like we can't overall, like, yeah, I had to say the big domino was the Cinebear stuff. But I mean, when you look at his track record, it's like, bro, that man, it was bound to happen at some point in time. But anyways, but when you look at some of his like most viewed content, or even if it's not his most viewed content, the content that he put a lot of work into, it's hateful. Like he's hating on somebody. He has to live off of that. He has to thrive off of that. I remember when he was posting those videos about me like back years ago and stuff. He wanted his fans to push that idea out. So like, or not idea, but his words, what he was saying. He wanted his fans to push that out so much that every time when he uploaded a video about me, I had to know about it. Why do I have to know about it? For what reason do I have to sit down and listen to a video about a person that doesn't know absolutely nothing about me? He had one disagreement with me. That's the funny, and you know what? Sit down thinking about it. That's the only disagreement that we've ever had. That's the only disagreement was because of the reaction videos. It was because of, okay, so I guess like more so who I am as a person and the reaction. So a couple of reasons. But other than that, it's like, fam, when you sit down and you look at like our history, I never engaged unless my name was being mentioned. But it wasn't like, oh, I gotta go after him. I had to say, if there is like, I guess at any given point in time where I went after him, it was probably it was the first time was last year. But other than that, I ain't had no reasons. The thing is this. I know people are gonna probably be all like, "Oh, you went after him when you did those videos where you said him and his community is racist," because they are. My thing is this: when you have evidence, I look at it more so like a court situation, right? You have evidence to showcase that this person influenced an audience to be racist. He downplayed it and act like, "Oh, that's not me. That's somebody else. You've gotten into it. You're the only other person that I'm getting into it with content creating." Like I've said before, I wasn't even going at it with anybody during that time frame, especially 2019. I'm like, I have to say, when all of the drama with like me, like Minnesota Boy, Thomas the Tank Engine, that Glenn kid, the fan base that he came from, or the content creators, like his community that he came from, all those people, because the first person I got into it with, me and him, we squashed the beef. Minnesota Boy, his cancellation was bound to happen. You can't make a video talking about why you hate white people on a platform where a lot of white people exist and stuff. Thomas the Tank Engine, I think they realized what I was saying, and they were like, yeah, that this is kind of weird, you know, us being grown adults pretending to be characters from a cartoon show that's primarily watched by kids. Yeah, there's some weird stuff here. Cause the funny thing is that you may see some videos. You don't see no videos from that first guy that I got into it with. You don't see no videos from Minnesota Boy. You don't see no videos from that Thomas. You might see some videos from the Thomas Friends Tank Engine, whatever that show is called. You might see some videos from them. The only videos that exist about me today are from Just a Robot. So where my thing is this, with little to like no other videos that exist with me with the other people that I've gotten into it with, what other videos exist about me? What other issues I've gotten into it with people throughout my content creating career? Because I'm saying like the thing is this, from 2016, well, no, I would say like from 2017. 2016 was like the start of it all. That was like the introduction. After that, that's when all the chapters and, you know, different things was going on between me and Just a Robot and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, it was like, but eventually because I feel like I'm kind of just retelling the story and stuff. Let's get back to this, you know, unsuccessful hater stuff. Look at where he's currently at right now. Look at what he's currently going through right now. Where it's like the thing is this. Everyone knows the day he decides to come, but I think in a way he has came back. Like people have been telling me he is uploading again. But is it getting the same traction, viewership? Is it getting the same love and support as he was getting back then? No. But that's the thing though. That he ain't the only time. Like, yeah, if we talking on like other people, look at Minnesota Boy. This man hated on the whole race for no reason. Or because it was some middle school kids done called him the N-word on Call of Duty. And look at where he's at right now. I'm trying to think of some other situations where it was like some unsuccessful haters and stuff. I mean, I guess like even just thinking of somebody by random. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really call her, well, I mean, I guess in a way she was kind of hating a little bit, because I felt like that, you know, she was trying to put my friend in the situation, and I'm like, fam, what are you doing? You scammed her out of $500 and now you're mad at her because she called you out on it and stuff. So, but anyways, Trisha Paytas. So for those that don't know, yeah, Trisha Paytas, she scammed one of my friends out of $500 years ago. And it's crazy because that's how me and the person ended up, like me and her ended up becoming friends, because I was talking about it, and that was at the time when, like, you know, like Trisha Paytas was getting into it with David Dobrik and his peoples, and but then yeah, then we all seen like what he was about, and you know what his like friends and his circle was about and stuff. So it was like, dang, you know. So it's like, you know, maybe Trisha Paytas, maybe she was right to an extent, but at the same time, I'm like getting back to this friend situation. So to explain to you guys that, so my friend. So Trisha Paytas had like this Patreon thing going on where the highest tier was like $500. You get like, no, and so that's the crazy thing about it, because I'm like, fam, I've done shout out videos for free. And these videos, you can still find shout out videos that I did from like 2016, 2017 to people that are no longer even content creators. So my thing is this, right? You're charging $500. It was like some other stuff that she had going on with it too, but that was the main reason I think why my friend wanted to do that. She paid $500 for this shout out, but the shout out was a Instagram story shout out. And for those that, if you're not like, you know, into social media that much, and you're all like, wait a minute, what's an Instagram story? It is a 24-hour shout out. So after them 24 hours, like let's say if Trisha Paytas uploaded a video that gained her like 1 million followers across her platforms, but like let's say she posted that video after them 24 hours, nobody is going to, and then yeah, let's say like her account wasn't really, you know, all that like blowing up or anything, like nothing wasn't really happening. My friend just paid $500 to get what, like 2-3 followers. I mean, yeah, at the time being Trisha Paytas, she did have a lot of followers and stuff. It wasn't like she was a well-established content creator. So that's even more so of a reason. I'm like, fam, why are you scamming people out of $500? Like, that's still something that I'll never forget, because I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, that's something where somebody, my thing is this. If somebody paid me $500 to shout them out, I'm telling you guys right now, I would have done some like Michael Bay, Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg. I would have had a full production, bro. I would have been working on this video day and night. I'm like, what kind of shout out video do you want? What character do you want me to be? What do you want me to be doing in this video? $500 for a shout out? Bro, oh, I'm telling you, man, people will be like, bruh, if all I had to do was pay TMossBoss $500 to have him do like some high production, because I ain't even got like no equipment, but I'm like, I got some good stuff, but I'm like, fam, I would make a whole album off of the shout out. I'm saying like a whole musical like album off of it and stuff. What else? I would, bro. It would definitely be like a high production shout out video. It ain't gonna be for $500. I'm like, fam, if I've taken time out of my day, be up in the middle of the night during the day where I could be doing all this other form of content and I've shouted people out, I'm saying like $500, you could very well, did a proper shout out and things. That was the thing about it though. She didn't even shout my friend out. She didn't give her nothing regarding that Patreon. She took the $500 and just pretty much just dipped, just pretty much left her on red and stuff. So my friend posted a video about it. Then out of nowhere, Trisha Paytas has started copyright striking my friend's videos. Got to the point where she almost lost her channel. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, nah, that's some scammy stuff. So, of course, I had to talk about it because I'm like, nah, that's wild. Then, yeah, shortly afterwards, shout out to my friend, her name is Ray Rahimi, but she has a tea channel called Hot Tea. So if you guys, like, yeah, I was, that's how me and her, how we became friends and stuff. But, yeah, shout out to her. If you guys want to, go subscribe to her channels and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, Trisha Paytas was hating. I'm like, you're upset because this girl called you out on your behavior. And I'm like, that don't even make no sense to me. That was some like odd and confusing stuff. That I ain't never seen that before. You scam somebody out of $500 and then you get mad when they call you out on it. Then don't scam people out of $500. Don't even have a Patreon if you ain't even gonna be living up to the stuff that's on the Patreon. That just don't even make no sense to me. But yeah, I was like, I remember that, and I'm like, yeah, she was hating a little bit. I'm trying to think of some other situations where people were overall hating on somebody. I had to like go down and and see and things. But I mean, I've seen where like even some other honorable mentions. I've seen where like guys like PewDiePie, where this was like prior before all the like different controversy that he got caught up in. Like I think it was a try not to laugh challenge. I remember watching of his where he had like some people hating on him and stuff. What else? Like, yeah, I've seen even where fans of mine, where it's all like they just get caught in the crossfire and they start receiving hate. What else? I mean, even like years ago, I remember, like getting people hating on my gaming videos. They was like, oh, you're not playing the game right. You're talking and then not talking and then I'm like, bro. And the funny thing is, you don't see none of those people today. You might see some, but what are they doing? Nothing. So that's why I'm like, yeah, haters, you never see a successful hater. That's one thing about it is that, and I mean, like, yeah, Trisha Paytas, I feel like, yeah, she had to do the right thing, though. Like, if I could talk on her, because I know people would probably be all like, Trisha Paytas is pretty successful, even after that situation. Yeah, because she had to do the right thing. I'm like, you can't go and scam somebody. I guarantee and I promise you, she would have never given my friend that $500. That was probably one of the biggest what ifs with Trisha Paytas is what if she didn't give her that $500. I don't know why I was getting ready to say 500,000, but anyways, what if she didn't give her that money back? Where would she currently be at right now? The thing is this: when you can even like scam somebody out of $1 and lose literally everything that you've worked hard for. It could be some stuff where it's like, oh, like, let's say you like, oh, look how easy it is to take $1 from a kid. Go up to a kid and be all like, hey, if you give me $1, I just had a conversation with Santa and he's like, he'll give you all the gifts that you want and stuff. Kid gives you $1. You just flat out lied to that kid. Next thing you know, house is gone. Car is gone. Like, let's say you're a content creator, all that stuff is gone. Let's say you have music, all that stuff is gone. Let's say you have a bicycle that you had since you was a kid, that's gone. Somebody done stole it in the middle of the night or something. I'm saying people need to understand how karma works. Karma, it works in ways where you think like, okay, like that ain't nothing, but I'm like, fam, it's leading up to something. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you ain't gonna achieve nothing with being a hater. Especially it's like you just hating on people for no reason at that. I'm like, yeah, you ain't gonna achieve anything with that. So, but Anyways, I just know that people are going to hear this and they're going to be all like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to still continue on hating on whoever it is I'm hating on. Like, just talking to a hater right now, where are you at and where is that individual at that you're hating on? I'm like, who's doing better than who? You can, of course you can lie and be all like, oh, well, I'm a doctor. I just graduated from college. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got a Lambo, Ferrari, this and that. And you're spending time out of your life, out of your busy life. If you claim to be this busy person, you're taking time out of your busy life to hate on the individual that's beneath you. Like, if we're gonna put it in your terms, this individual is beneath you, yet you're still taking time out of your day to hate on this individual. Why? It's things like that that don't make no sense to me, and then just even with a content creator, it's like, so yeah, let's say you're a content creator and you're hating on another content creator. Why? You got your own thing going on, they got their own thing going on. If they ain't did nothing to you, what's the reason of hating on them? So it's just even stuff like that. You ain't got no legitimate reason. Even if you do have a legitimate reason to hate on that person, don't waste your time doing stuff like that. So, but I just know that, you got people out there where they don't want to listen to things like that. They're all like, nah, somebody saying something that makes sense. Nope, can't listen to it. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.